off.
I hope that's loud enough for y'all then.
And everything we carry. We ask that you guide our conversation. Let it be musical. Let it be truthful. And let it reach the days of needs. Open our minds, open our hearts. Help us speak with purpose as we move into today's topic. Lord, show us.
I don't like being at the bottom of the screen, but whatever. Hey, that was a God's Prayer done by my nephew artist Dandara. You can check him out if he still does YouTube videos. I would like to welcome and thank everyone for tuning in to Off the Record, where no topic is off limits, giving ourselves, well as I guess, a space to share honest opinions that's uncensored, unfiltered, unscripted. Tonight's discussion is going to be the the Cyrus Carmack Belton case, where South Carolina versus Rick Chow. I had a different topic on it, but anyways, I just wanted to bring. That's what we're gonna get into tonight. I'm not even gonna do the intro like I usually ask a question. I'm not even gonna do that. I just want to jump right into it. So one of the things that I want to cover the trial as far as the scenario that happened, the prosecution and the defense arguments. So back on May 28, 2023, Rick Chow, his wife, and his son confronted Cyrus Belton inside their Columbia, South Carolina Shell gas station under the suspicion that he had stolen 4 bottles of water. That's all I'm going to give you right now. And then we'll get into the whole case and what was discovered after while they were in trial. So the prosecution argument: a teen was chased over a misunderstanding involving water bottles. Although he had a weapon on him, multiple witnesses reportedly stated that he never drew the weapon. The defense attorney, their argument for Mr. Chow was Cyrus possessed the firearm, and also the defense attorney argued that Chow believed his son was threatened and acted to protect him. So the shooting was a split-second decision made in defense of the family. Um, Now, under South Carolina law, there's only express or implied malice, meaning that if the defendant had clear, deliberate, and intentional plan to or desire to kill a specific person, that means that he will probably be charged with murder in the first degree. Implied, the did not necessarily, defendant did not necessarily designed to kill a specific person, but acted with depraved heart, which sounds like misdemeanor. So he only had misdemeanor, murder, or acquittal. And in this case, we already know that he was acquitted of any wrongdoing. So my question first off is a yes or no. What was your first reaction? I'll let anybody jump in first. What was your first
How's
reaction?
that a yes or no?
Sorry. Not a yes or no. We're gonna get into the why. What was your first reaction when you heard that he was acquitted? What was your first reaction? And don't be questioning me like that. Just answer the damn question.
You're like, it's a yes or no. What was your first
Sorry,
reaction?
I didn't mean yes or no. Okay.
No. I guess that could be
Did
a
you
no,
okay?
no,
So
no,
yes or no? Did you
no.
agree with the acquittal? There you go. I changed it. Eesh. We just had a Lawrence almost cussed on this podcast.
No, I don't agree with the acquittal.
Okay, so you're next, Farrah Monet.
No, I don't agree with the acquittal. I mean, when does water bottles constitute murder?
We'll get into that in a second. What about you, Miss Renee?
I was not surprised. I'm not surprised by any of it.
And
that's not a yes or no.
Wait, hold on. Isn't South Carolina your home, Apex? You should be.
First of all, there's 2 Carolinas. There's only one. No, hold on. First of all, there's only one Carolina. That's North Carolina. They don't talk about no South Carolina trash. So let's not go there. Number one. Number two, in regards to the verdict, and when I first heard, because I did not have the details of what was going on, it was like I don't agree. So we'll leave it at that at the first initial piece.
Okay, so you long-winded. You don't agree. I understand. honestly.
No, I preface it for a purpose.
I know, I got you. So anyway, so in this case now you can explain to me as to why you weren't surprised.
Is that directed towards me?
Yeah, you can go why you weren't surprised. You can go first.
Like he said, it's the Carolinas too. After the trial started and you started to hear like all the other instances where he did draw a gun on people or shoot at people or whatever, I kind of knew like if he got off all those other times and he just basically got walked off with a slap on the wrist, they're not going to convict him.
Well, see, that didn't come out until after everything was said and done. But even before,
I heard that while the trial was going on.
Yeah, but see, during the trial, which I understand, but I think the thing is, during the trial, you wouldn't have heard those instances, right? Not at least not in the courtroom.
The people,
You
right?
would have
in
heard
the
it from
court.
people that live there and stuff like that. So I understand it. But yeah, so what are your thoughts, Farrah Monet or Tasha B, or I should say Apex? But we know he's gonna take control.
You want to know the reason why my answer was
Yes.
no, I'm not surprised, or that
Whichever.
I mean I wasn't surprised because I mean it's America, but that's my initial take on just with what you've given me now.
When you say this is America, I mean,
do we get justice very often? No.
Yeah. Okay.
For me, I think we're all familiar with being racially profiled when we go into the store. We're taught at a young age etiquette when you go into the store, not to touch anything if you don't have any money, don't put anything in your pocket, you're being watched, you're being followed. So I don't think it surprises Black people that he was profiled in the store or thought to have stole anything. So I think that initially when the case came out and the details came out, it's like, yeah, we do get this type of treatment. You can see clear as day in the video that the mom was following him from shelf to shelf, corner to corner of that store. So I think their intent was even before they even knew if he was going to take something or not, or you know what I'm saying? That was what they did, is follow people around the store.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
And I think she's partially to blame for that as well, because you're literally following him. You see him put the water back.
Right.
So how do you in good conscience say, oh, he stole something? The amount that you see him take out is the amount that you see him put back.
Mm-hmm.
The vantage point that she had, she saw that he put everything back, but she still wanted to check that pocket. Like, oh, there's something in that pocket. He must have got something by me. But it's that it's that culture there that I see that they had in that store.
It's in there that they have everywhere. So I will go with this, and in the culture of what's going on. I went by, I won't name of it, but it's only major electronic stores in most towns. It has a yellow part of the logo.
Yeah.
But any which way, I walked in.
It's not like it's CompUSA, because CompUSA closed years ago.
And
It
so
could be
the
Best
Circuit
Buy,
City.
Walmart.
So
Walmart ain't really a major of an electronics store.
A nice electronics store with a yellow logo. But anyway, I went into the store. I'm walking around looking at some stuff. I was trying to get some other headsets and maybe some looking at Apple stuff. And as I was like, I'm not going to get it here. And the price was wrong. So I started to walk out, and I got approached by first it was
you got approached.
This medium-sized gentleman, and then he brought in this 6'5", 6'6" big brawler dude, and it said, "Sir, can I ask you a question?" I was like, "What's your problem?" Because again, I'm over 6 foot. Most people don't approach me. I'm like, "What's your problem?" And he's like, "Can I see what's in your pocket?" I was like, "No, you cannot." He's like, "You can't leave the store." I was like, "You can't prevent me from leaving the store." And he tried to put his muscle on me. He said, "Y'all gonna go to the back room?" I'm like, "I'm not going to the back room. This recently happened within the last year." So I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So then he's like, "Oh, you don't make me call the officers out here." I'm like, "You can call the officers now. Bring them here so that I can have something on, because there's no reason for me to be here." So they went ahead and were like, "Oh no, we'll call them." I said, "I'll call them right now." I pulled up my cell phone and called the officers. They came. They started to come. They took about 25 minutes because it's not a major thing. About 15 minutes in,
That's with your story.
yes, it was. So the store manager comes up and says, "Oh, my bad. I saw you had something white in your hand and you put your hand in your pocket. We thought you were stealing iPods and stuff from the store. And because we've had some issues with this from some other people." And I was like, "So what does that have to do with me?"
Right.
There's no one to do with me. So I bring that up to say, in essence, they had a portion, and he went ahead and was like, "Oh no, we had it checked and whatever." Yeah, go check. Don't come at me like that. First of all, I'm too grown to be stealing some $20 headphones right out in the open. So what to be surprised that this lady's doing this? They profiled me here and this kind of thing, and this is day. And I'm like, "Why are you?" And even if it's $20, you're going to do a lot of stuff for $20. So it's ridiculous. The short end of it.
I was kind of disappointed inside of the verdict, but I kind of want to hold my opinion because any opinion that I have is not going to be godly. That's what I'm going to say. It is not going to be godlike. But I kind of was disappointed in the outcome.
The outcome, like I said ahead of time when I prefaced my piece,
perpetrator, never a victim. So, but yeah,
well, it's always. But the first the verdict, it's very disturbing. But if you look at South Carolina law, and what happens is, and it happens a lot of these cases, they put the charges for whatever outcome they want to have. And I say that because in South Carolina, okay, in this particular case, the only charge was murder, right? So you said you had murder and acquittal, and it's pretty much where they had it. So. It's not for the way that South Carolina words their law.
But here's the thing. That's the problem. The prosecution actually failed the family. That's how I feel.
Because the prosecution was in cahoots with the family. Like what I'm saying, to get them off. Because there's no reason why you charge a charge that you know they're going to have to acquit. If you listed all the other charges, he would have got charged. But if it's murder, because the way that they have murder, it's not murder, so you have to acquit.
No, I understand that.
No, I saw another lawyer stating that when she heard that the jury asked what was the definition of implied malice or whatever the case may be, they had to, based on that, she said she knew that they were going to acquit.
Yeah, I felt the same
they have
way.
to. That's what I'm saying, because that's the charge. So because of murder, they have to do that. If they would have included manslaughter or anything else, then it's easily to be able to charge him with this other stuff. But when it came down to murder, they have to do the implied intent. They have to do this other intent, and at that point, it has to be acquittal.
South Carolina only has express and implied. They don't have anything else outside of that, from the research that I've done.
No, they have manslaughter. They could have charged them for murder. There's only implied and implied, but they do have manslaughter.
That's true.
If they would have charged, I think honestly the prosecution failed. The prosecution not only failed for not applying the manslaughter charge, their closing was actually garbage as well.
Yes.
So I've seen the closing. That defense attorney was A1, but that prosecution, I would not want them to be. Well, I guess if you're a murder suspect, why not have that prosecution? I mean, he was terrible. Do you think the judge should have allowed Mr. Chow's previous history of discrimination and or the shooting to be involved in this case?
Yes.
Yeah.
But even though he was found to be in self-defense, do you think it should have been introduced? Because technically that would have prejudiced.
The whole thing started based off of his profiling, based off of his racial, the way that he was with his racism. So I mean, that's why he was followed around the store. That's why everything happened. It wouldn't have started. It wouldn't have happened if had he not done that, because of this history that he already has.
And technically speaking, it wouldn't be a situation had he left the store. Like, why are you leaving the store? Because if you felt first of all, why is your son leaving the store? If he felt like he was in danger, if they thought he had a gun, are you running towards danger? I've never seen somebody without a weapon or a weapon being pointed directly at them running towards the gun. Like, what do you want to do? Run towards the run towards the bullets?
So I heard a different flip to the story. I heard that it could have been that the son actually had the gun. Like they passed the gun at some point and the son had the gun and the son shot instead of the dad. I heard that somewhere as a theory of how they did kind of like a bait and switch. And the son and the father took the rap. But I think that
Does it sound believable?
because they
It
were
does.
saying how did the dad was able to run as fast? The boy ran out of his shoes. He was young. How can the dad run and catch all the way up to him? You know, so
He
there was
fell.
different theories, and he
Yeah, you
fell.
end up
And
slipping.
When she said run, that means he ran a whole football field length. That's why she's saying.
the dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Could he really keep the pace because he started off behind? So I don't know.
I mean,
Oh no, here's the thing. It doesn't matter
a lot
who
of money
shot.
on tree limbs, so why not?
What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
No, it's like whoever shot it doesn't matter. They should have been behind bars. They should have been. This should have been an easy conviction. And it doesn't matter if it was a son, if it was the dad, whomever took the rap needed to be behind
I agree,
bars
because
if the prosecution did what they needed to do.
True, because the witnesses themselves, who was actually there, the mother and the daughter said, and I don't know about the other ones, but I know the mother and the daughter that was in the car when they was pulling in, they said that he never pulled the gun. So to me, that's why I feel like that prosecution really is probably. We know we wasn't going to get justice in the beginning, anyways, when it comes to something happening to Black people, because we're always going to be perceived as the perpetrator.
No, here's the thing. If you pull, even if you, so my thing is this: if he pulled the gun, so I'm gonna be devil's advocate. If he pulled the gun, said what? How did you shoot him in his back? That's what I want to know. It's not
That
that you
part.
this is what's ridiculous about the whole situation when you're the prosecution and you talk about the closing.
Here's-
It's
let me
very
pause
simple.
you real quick. This is what the theory is, and most times this is what the theory is. Even though you got shot in the back, people are under the assumption that you still have the opportunity to turn your hand backwards or point backwards and still shoot. Whether you hit the person or not, you're shooting at somebody. So even though you got, go ahead, Farrah. I see your face.
If he's retreating, then how is that? How is he gonna? That's. I mean, that's.
Because
What is
his
that?
Grand Theft Auto.
Concealed carry 101. If he's retreating, you don't shoot him in the back. You don't have a reason to believe that he's gonna turn around and shoot you. If he's
You know what? You're
retreating.
right. This is the Matrix. You're gonna run, shoot between your
Listen,
armpits.
I
Clack,
understand.
clack, clack.
No, like I understand, but that's the thing. People are under the assumption that even though when you're pulling a gun, because I've heard it before, I've seen it before, and I see how people thought. Because years ago, when Johnny Cochran was alive, God rest his soul, he had taken over a case where a police officer actually shot a young Black man in Orlando. He was running from the police officer, and he had a gun on him. And they were trying to say that he pulled his gun and he was pointing backwards, trying to shoot at the officer, which it was unfounded that he even pulled the gun. He ended up dying too. But that's in their heads. It's like, oh, we still have the opportunity to pull the gun and shoot backwards.
That
No,
kid
I-
was
I-
scared.
You must be
And they keep
superhuman
trying to
because we
make
can
it
see
seem
behind us and
like,
everything.
right, they're trying to make it seem like he was an adult. He was a child.
No, even if he's an adult. Here's the thing: if he's running away, and I'm gonna go with
Wait, pause real quick.
said.
Pause real quick. I want you to explain why you say that, Renee.
Because every time they keep going, that young man, he wasn't a man. He was a child. He was a teenager. He was not a man. And I guarantee you, he's been into that gas station before. That's
So,
not the first time they've seen that boy.
so do you think that? So if people had viewed him as a child, because we viewed him as a child versus everybody else probably viewed him as a young adult, a young man, whatever you want to call it. Do you think that's why the outcome became what it was?
I do believe so. And I'm not, every time it comes to our kids, something happens to our kids, all of a sudden they're adultified. They're no longer children. They're no longer, they're always like they always put them like an adult. They
It would
always
have
put them
made a
in the category
difference.
of an adult.
I disagree that it would have made a difference because Trayvon Martin was clearly a child, and we all knew that he was a child when it happened. And the white folks knew he was a child. The little boy with the gun that got killed, the toy gun in Chicago that killed, knew he was a child. That's neither here nor there.
But
We're
they
not
don't see our children as children. They see them as a danger. They see them as an adult.
right.
No, they see him as
So
a
them being
danger.
him being a
They
child
see him as a danger.
wouldn't have mattered.
Okay. Now, what were you
Yeah.
gonna say, Pex? I'm sorry.
I know. So what I'm saying is, even and I go to what you were even saying that hey that they could shoot backwards. My deal is, and again, this 60-year-old man runs a football field and a half,
Hmm.
pulls a gun. After then, the kid runs another 20 yards away from him and tags him dead in the back. After he pulls a gun, so if he turned towards you, this is the thing that is he pointed a gun at you, but he didn't fire. I understand you may be fearing, but if he decides not to shoot you when he pulled the gun and he turns his back, at that point, where's the mortal danger that you needed to shoot? I'm gonna go. Hey, let's say he pulled a gun on you.
See, that's
He
the
didn't
thing
pull
with
it.
the law, though. The law, you just have to perceive that you're in danger. Once you have
I
that,
understand the law. I
You
understand the
wouldn't
perceived law.
perceive that you would be in danger had you stayed in the store. Because there was
No,
no
here's the
reason
thing.
for your son
Believe.
and you to leave the store.
Well, I'm
Especially when
saying
everything is
what's the
insured.
common sense things? If you're going what he's saying that he pulled a gun at me, he pointed at me, and then what happened? Well, then I shot him in the back. My portion of it is that the story doesn't hold water. That's what I'm saying. Even if you're saying he pointed a gun at you, why didn't you get a shot off? Where are you guys at? How are you picking? There's a lot of stuff that happened that makes no sense,
But if
Right.
you're
and that's why the
chasing
persecution.
somebody, if you're chasing somebody anywhere, you're chasing them. At that point, I am in fear of my life. I should have pulled a gun on you because you're chasing me. At that point, am I right or wrong?
no, you're definitely right about that. But unfortunately, that's not how the jury perceived it. As he just no different than Zimmerman and Martin, Trayvon Martin. He
No,
was
that's
no, it is because the thing is, he was coming home talking to somebody on the phone, and somebody walked up behind of him. Remember, I don't know if he was in Orlando at the time. I lived
which one? Trayvon?
Trayvon Martin and George
No,
Zimmerman.
I know the trade. No, I say it's different. I say it's different because in this particular case, okay,
Let me finish
Trayvon
my
whooped
statement.
Zimmerman's behind and
No,
jumped
no,
him
no,
because he
no.
was being followed.
Hold on. Let me I understand about the whooping, but what I'm saying is that what to Farrah's point is the same thing happened with Trayvon when he was walking. Somebody came up behind of him. He didn't know this person. So
Right.
now he is being the prey to somebody that he doesn't know. That's
Absolutely.
all I'm
And
saying.
it turns into
Yeah.
the aggressor because
So
now
yeah,
he's
they
protecting
turned
himself.
around saying that Trayvon was the aggressor, but he was just fighting for his life.
No. That's what I'm saying. Right. What I'm saying is that I say it's different because at no point did these two, you have two of you chasing him, were fearful he didn't come at you. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's different than the Trayvon
Only
piece
part
because
that's
Trayvon.
different.
What's up?
That's the only part that's different.
But the chasing part, you made it in fear for his life, and I get that. That's 100% correct. But at that particular point, when did you guys get in a point of fearing for your life? The
But
gun was pointed at
that's
me.
the same.
Okay,
You know, honestly,
that's
that's
your
the
only
same.
statement.
That's no. I understand that, but that's the same defense that Zimmerman used as well. That he was in fear for his life, even though he was
Yeah,
the
but
aggressor,
you're correct.
agitator.
Oh no, I would say that. But what I'm saying to this particular case, when I was talking about my piece, is that it doesn't make any sense for these two to say that you were in fear. I understand there was a gun and then you,
I don't.
but at what point are you saying that you're afraid when you're that far away and there may be a mythical portion of pointing a gun at you? The jury
Right.
had to be told that again. If the gun was pointed at him, okay. So at what point was it pointed at you? Because you guys somehow shot him in the back. They had no explanation for that. At that point,
But
common
No,
sense should
but
come
my
in.
thing is,
and I
go
don't
ahead.
think they could really. I don't think the defense really came with a good case. I think the definition of the charge and the jury instructions
Yep.
swayed the decision on what he got. So
No,
that is
it was
still
a correct decision. So it is the correct decision by the law because they didn't have manslaughter.
yes,
They
right,
could not convict on murder. They couldn't. There was no
right,
chance for them to convict on it. So
right,
that's
and
the
you can't
prosecution
shoot.
issue.
Exactly, that's a prosecution issue, and you cannot shoot someone that is retreating. And I know that there's a lot of stores that their law states you cannot follow someone to the parking lot that steals something.
Yeah, but that's typically like a Walmart type of store, not like a
No,
gas
that's
station.
any
No, you
convenience
can't say
store.
that it's any convenience store because
No, you can't. You cannot follow someone out of the store
Unless
once
you
they
sue
steal.
it.
You're supposed to call the authorities. You have the camera. Mr. Chow had put the best technology on his store
understood. But you
for
said that he can't. He can if it's his store.
Mhm.
no,
He can if it's his store. I'm just saying he
Yeah.
can if it's his store.
He
I
can
don't
if it's his
think
store.
I think that's a liability to follow someone outside of the store
hmm It's a liability for the store, and
and
it's
follow
also a
some.
liability for yourself. But we see the outcome.
Yeah. You
You
see
don't
the
talk.
outcome.
You don't talk.
I
Tasha.
don't
I'm just
agree.
saying.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that you are allowed to follow someone. If you call 911 and you say, hey, this person just came in my store to steal, they're going to ask you, is the person still in the store? No, they've left the store. I'm following them right now. Please stop following them. This is standard procedure.
No,
No, but that's the
You
that's the
cannot
George
follow
Zimmerman.
somebody.
No. Yes, you can. That's the George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman was told to stand put, stop chasing him. He then
We hear a little
chased
bit
him
of
for
feedback.
another 15 minutes.
I'm not.
For another 15 minutes after that.
So let me ask. Go ahead.
Oh, no, for another 15 minutes
If-
and
if-
made Trayvon in that piece.
Yeah, unfortunately, if it's Mr. Chow's store, and that's what they're saying it was his gas station, even though he's under the Shell brand, he's allowed to follow them if it's his store.
No,
You can say no if you want, but I'm telling you, or,
but
No,
I'm
I'm
saying
saying if
if
it's
you
his
call
store, yes.
911,
It's not. So I
It
think the
doesn't
difference
matter.
is it's not
no,
illegal.
it is
it doesn't
different.
matter. You're
This is
not
the
supposed
difference.
to follow
I
somebody.
think it's the difference is okay. He can do it like the owners, like the people at Zara can do it. The difference is it illegal or is it against policy? Like the people at Zara who are chasing the people out the stores, it's against company policy. Same with Target and Walmart, it's against company policy. But is it technically illegal to follow them after to gather your own stuff? That's where I think the divide is, the disconnect is. Is it
But
actually
yeah,
illegal? Probably not.
but it's not their stuff. Yeah, but it's not their stuff. See, this is Mr. Child's store, so it's his stuff, so he can go do what he wants.
Right.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So,
wasn't
like,
under
Now
let's
he
that.
has to
let's
take
say-
he
let's
has to take the
say that you're-
responsibility.
Let's say that you're in a. We know it in Orlando. I don't know if y'all have it in New York, in Chicago.
Burn
right?
it down.
We have like Wawa. So Wawa is not independently owned. 7-Eleven is independently owned. Wawa is not independently owned. So if you're in a Wawa and their policy is to not follow, they're not going to follow. But independent gas stations and stuff like that, you're allowed to make your own rules. They might have best
But in
practices.
New York, they're not following you out the store. They probably have you on camera. They'll post your picture in store. You can't come back in. You'll
Right.
get trespassed or something like it. But they're not chasing you out the store.
Yeah, because of the liability. That's what I'm saying. So you have to take a
I'm sorry, somebody said
whatever
earlier
happened.
that he may have been, Renee, I think you said he may have already visited that store before. So I kind of
Yeah.
wonder if he visited and stole some, now that you say it, if he stole something prior to.
No, but I feel like they just
Even
racially
Steven is-
profile regardless. They could have been anybody.
No,
Exactly.
true. I just wanted
Exactly.
listen, I only bring up certain questions. I'm not saying it's right.
No, because they if you walk in there with a bag, they're making you leave your bag at the front door.
Yeah.
So he already knew the procedure.
Right. He had no problem doing that. He put his bag down and went about his day shopping.
stealing.
Let me ask my next follow-up question. Yeah, I understand.
And then they pointed out he don't have no money. See, the whole case was messed up.
But how do you know he don't have money?
Because my thing is I don't have to carry cash. I got my phone. I can tap. I can cash app. I can whatever to pay. I don't have to have a physical
And that's what a
money
lot
in
of
my
people are saying.
pocket
They
or
haven't walked
wallet.
with money. Yeah, they haven't walked with money in so long. So how is it? How is it that?
Most these young people, their parents say, I'm gonna put money on your phone and you can go and pay because I don't want you to lose your debit card. I don't want you to have cash and somebody's jumping you or trying to rob you for $20. So I'm gonna put it on your phone and you can pay, Face ID or whatever and pay for your merchandise if you want to buy something. He looked at the water, it was $2.98 or whatever, and he said he didn't want it and he put it back.
I think the water might have been. Well, yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say something else. I think the
It
water.
don't
Was,
matter. I mean, it's like
but
$2
for $2, you're losing your life, really.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now they have not released the identity of the jury, meaning the race or nothing like
They
that.
need
Would
to.
you?
I don't think it even at this point. It don't even matter.
No. I have a question.
Completely.
Would it be surprising to you all if there was any black jurors and still found Mr. Chow not guilty?
Not
Yeah, I
really,
mean,
because
again,
they had to operate within the parameters that they were given. So I think
yes,
somebody
correct.
wanted clarification on what implied malice means. So they still had to go off of the parameters they were given, regardless of how they might feel.
Yeah, you gotta go by the law. So for example, case in point,
You can't
my
put me on a
amazing. If
jury.
I
It'd
was
have
on a
been a
jury,
mistrial, hung jury, all of that.
well, and again,
They ain't not to put me on jury duty.
Not in South Carolina. She'd be risking a lot. If it was a black
And
person,
I'm
they'd be
very,
risking a
and I'm
lot.
usually
yeah,
neutral.
you risking a lot in South Carolina.
Yeah, if you go a lot of times, even if they were cheap, it's almost like a bullying type of situation. In South Carolina, if you're a black person that goes against the grain, causes a mistrial, you're risking a lot for your family and everything else. So I think
And here's the thing, and the
the
biggest point. It's the law. Like I said, if I was on a jury and on that, and when I looked at the information, it's crystal clear. They said the charges were ridiculous in regards to what happened. Didn't need to charge them for murder. I think they got pressure to do murder, but they needed to go ahead and include the lesser charge. That's the thing. Stop going for all or nothing, because at that point you're gonna. It's like, well,
Exactly.
I
And
don't
I
want
don't know what
to.
advice that was.
Because if you went to manslaughter, he still could have got up to 36 years, 2 to
Yep.
36.
Yep.
And for him, that might be a life sentence.
And
Exactly.
he took somebody else's life. I don't care about no life sentence. Bye.
Oh, no, what I'm
30
saying.
years
I'm
in
saying
prison on me.
My thoughts on that, and I'm going to repent tonight, and I'm going to ask God to forgive me, because I
Oh.
kind of want somebody to kill his son.
oh Lord.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
you gotta. That's a repent. Yeah, you gotta repent tomorrow. That's a repent.
Now do that right now.
That's a
We'll wait.
repent.
Oh my
Go ahead and
goodness.
repent right now. We'll wait.
Listen,
So
I'm supposed to be honest, right? That's why I didn't really want to talk. I kind of want somebody to take out his son. I kind of
We
want him
heard you
to
the
feel
first
the
time.
same thing that family's feeling. His son is innocent of doing what I want somebody to take out his son.
well, I
Irk
think
my soul so
the
bad on the
son,
stand.
And I never wish death on people, but I kind of want somebody to take out his son.
but I feel like once the other evidence came out that this has been multiple times that someone's gotten shot at these stores, like their private security firm shooting people, and the way that the son testified on the stand, I think that it was an act.
It was.
His somber answers, the way he was answering, his mannerisms, all of that was an act. They've been through this before. They know how
And he
to
was
answer the
coached.
questions.
Yep.
He was coached. He knew not to get upset. He knew it was just so fake. And then I feel like the guy, the prosecutor that was yelling at him and saying, if you didn't leave the store, he wouldn't have been shot. And he was yelling and he was getting so emotionally into it. I feel like he is, because he knew in the back of his mind, and they couldn't bring it in the trial, that this had been several times that they have done this. This is not their
And
first rodeo.
and they mischarged. So they were like, I gotta get you in something because he's gonna be acquitted if I don't get you to say something. That's what that was about.
Wow. So I
So
mean, I
go
don't
ahead.
know. I
So
don't
now the biggest thing now is boycotting Asian stores.
businesses, right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a little bit. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't offer me. I have not
I'm
ate
never gonna get
anything
my hair
Asian.
done.
I have not ate anything or shopped anything Asian in over 15 years. So I'm out of this anyways because I don't like nothing from them. And this was way before the trial. It's just I watched something one time and I was like, I'll never get anything from it, whether it's food or products. I make sure I look and see who's building it, if it's USA built and stuff like that. So I haven't done anything for Asians in over 15 years.
Not
So
me touching my hair that came from Asia. Okay, I can't do that. All of them now.
well,
That's a
you can go
lot.
Brazil.
Who?
You can go Brazil.
Listen, I think that's a little bit extreme.
So you're not down with the boycotting. So you're one of those that will I shouldn't say it like that, but you're one of those
Lord.
who will not boycott.
The race didn't do it. They did. This is a pattern for them.
Yeah, but they're also okay. Go ahead. Anyone?
There are a lot of businesses that are, they disrespect Black people when you go into their establishment. I mean, I've seen videos where women are, locked inside nail salons, their
Yeah.
African
the
shops do
hair
that too.
stores, their
Yeah,
hair
African
stores. Yeah, they
African
do.
brothers do the same thing. White folks do us dirty, and we go shop at their stores every day.
Y'all
I
problem.
know, but
If y'all
Huh?
know that they're doing y'all dirty and y'all still penetrate those same shops, that's an issue with y'all.
Yeah.
But I can't boycott every white business because a white person did me wrong. I can't boycott every Asian business because an Asian person did me wrong. I can't boycott every Black business because one of them did me. It's just not reasonable.
plausible.
That's not even plausible. It doesn't make sense.
You know what? I would say this. At some point, they need to suffer their consequence. The entire damn race, because they group us as a race. They don't group us as an individual. They group us as a race. They see one Black person do something, they say, "Oh, this is how they all are." So guess
That's
what?
true.
Absolutely.
Pulling their money away from them, then they can start learning. I'm not saying that you have to do it.
Oh no,
Taking on that
can understand that,
mindset
but here's
is
the
not
thing.
going to fix it. Taking
Well,
on
here's the
that
thing. We
mindset that they
don't-
have is not going to.
We don't have the mind. I'm going to tell you right now, we don't have as a whole to join on any one point. I've said this before, on any one point across the board on anything. So let's
Right.
not even try to do. So there's a difference. If they said, hey, we're boycotting X, every 98.9% of every Asian across the nation wouldn't do it. I mean, without a thought, it would wake up and do it like that. We don't have enough. Even if we did it on this call, we would do like 30%. That's not going to do enough.
We just choose not to do it because
We don't do it. We don't band together with
I wouldn't say
basic
we.
stuff.
No,
We as a whole, as a whole, we as Blacks. Period.
Right.
We
I
do
agree.
not do
They
for
don't
us.
want to give up the convenience. They don't want
It's
to
not
be
about the
inconvenienced.
convenience. It's just not.
No, when
It's
I
not
say they
fitting.
don't want to, it's okay. So if they have the product cheaper than, say, a local mom and pop, they'll go with the cheaper. So a lot of it is part of, well, not a lot, but most of it is they don't want to be inconvenienced
It's
because of the
convenience,
money.
but it's also it's multiple factors. But what I'm saying is that this particular individual in this town, what they need to do,
burn them
as
stores
a-
down.
they need to go ahead and everybody in that neighborhood, 80% of those people that pop in that neighborhood that shop at that store is probably Black. What you
Listen,
need to do as a
nothing wrong with
community
a little bit of
is
gasoline
shut
in
him
the
down.
match.
Boycott
Yeah,
the
shut them
store.
down.
Just boycott
Every
the store.
time you
Shut the
go
store
somewhere
down.
that says Chow, just don't shop at Chow's Mart and Meat. Don't
All of
shop
them.
at Chow's
You need
gas station.
you need
Don't
to
shop at Chow Nails. Anything
All
with
of it.
Chow in it.
Chow or Chow's family. You go ahead and
You don't
shut
get
those 3 or
Chow.
4 businesses
What
down.
is
I
what?
could do that. That's feasible. That's plausible. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Wait, what's reasonable? Just don't shop at anything Chow, but everything
You
else.
can do
Yeah.
that. Because I could go into a gas station right now on E and it can be ran by an Asian person. But I gotta get gas. I gotta go home. You get what I'm saying? I can't find a black gas station if I'm out of gas. It just does not make sense. But if it's a child gas station, I'll go across the street.
Right.
How do you
You
know if
know
it's
what
a
I'm
Chow?
saying?
You don't ask them.
Huh?
You don't ask if his last name Chow.
I don't know. But the man across the street,
Don't
his
do
name is
Chow.
good.
Listen, the only Asians I am going to support is Lisa Ling and Chani Kong. Chung. That's her name? Connie.
Connie
You don't
Chung.
even know her name.
Yeah,
I didn't want to go to White Tongue Wong.
who's married to
Oh
more.
my
Those
God.
are the only 2 Asians I'm going to
Hey,
support. Anybody
hey.
else outside of that? Hell no.
What
Not even
what
Yao
about
Ming.
Jackie Chan?
Chung, that's her name, Connie Chung. I like Connie Chung. She's a good journalist.
What about Jackie Chan?
F Jackie Chan.
Yao
Oh
Ming,
boy.
they don't can't get it either.
Well, I think like you said, I mean,
They
we
just
can
can't cook
slow
me now.
down.
I'll support
I think we
can't
can
cook
slow
pork
down
chop.
and try to find some other avenues, but concentrate it in that town. Chow would be off base. He would have to suffer. And I think they said he had a pizza parlor or something else. He
Yeah.
had other businesses. Those would have to be shut down. So they would be out of their core making way to make living. That's what I would personally do.
That's what I'm saying.
I just feel like they're
Everything
gonna
in
pack
Chow
up
and
and
Chow
move.
family.
Right.
I just feel like they're just gonna relocate or rebrand or whatever the case may be.
That's
And
going
they
to
might
do. And
leave
what
the
you need to
country.
follow them. We need to stalk them like they stalk us.
We have to
Right.
close out soon, but somebody was saying that because of the high profile case that they may move back to their country. Let's just hope.
Bye.
I doubt it. They're not going home.
I wouldn't mind if Donald Trump was involved to deport them. I would not mind.
He's not going
Well,
to deport them.
And we don't know. We do
No,
need
he's
to
not going to
call
deport
ICE.
them because who he's in bed with is not going to allow him to let him go ahead and deport him. But let's move on.
We don't know. We don't even know if he's. Look, anybody. I'll give any one of you the opportunity to do the closeout statement if you would like to. What are your thoughts on this case, or what are your thoughts moving forward for people as a whole?
so I would say the defense lawyer that's getting hate for defending Mr. Chow, the black guy. I think it's Kent Law
We don't.
Firm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't care in the court. It's a game of how convincing you are, and you have a job to do with who you hired. He had a dynamic closing argument. He was more efficient in his closing than the prosecution, and I feel like, I hate the fact that he was used to represent black people or whatever however they put it together, but I feel like he did his job of what he was supposed to do.
You can't
So
hate him for doing his job and the prosecution not doing theirs. That's a bit of it.
I did say one person, but okay. Let's go.
Oh
But
my
it's
God.
also not a yes or a no either.
It's a yes or no if I ask yes or no. But anyway, look, I appreciate the conversation. What I'm trying to do is I'm probably gonna follow up with this conversation on TikTok. So I'm gonna select one of you to be on TikTok with me. I just created Apex a TikTok page because he does not have no social media. He has no social media at all. So I'm going to try and go live at one point, probably this upcoming week, to discuss this as well as the next one that we're going to cover. But I just want to thank you all for joining. Once again, I will say this at the end. Our conversation is not aimed to tell you what to think. It just challenges you to think. So your perspective matter. And I definitely would like for people to join in on the conversation. So you can join us on our social media page, which will be listed at the end of the video, as well as on all social media platforms. Stay tuned for the next one. Good conversation, people. Good conversation.
Did you repent yet?
Hold on.
Yeah, let's get that repent on.
Thank you for our studio audience.
Yes, thank you to the studio audience. Hold on, it's almost done.